Reading 5 of 170 Chinese poems is translated by Arthur Whaley, as narrated by Teresa Garcia, or Amehana Arashi, depending on where you know me from. We are now in Chapter 2. Satire on paying calls in August, and as it happens to now be the month of August, this is rather timely. By Cheng Xiao, circa 80 to 50. When I was young, throughout the hot season there were no carriages driving about the roads. People shut their doors and lay down in the cool, or if they went out it was not to pay calls. Nowadays, ill-bred ignorant fellows, when they feel the heat, make for a friend's house. The unfortunate host, when he hears someone coming, scowls and frowns, but can think of no escape. There's nothing for it but to rise and go to the door, and in his comfortable seat he groans and sighs. The conversation does not end quickly, prattling and babbling, what a lot he says. Only when one is almost dead with fatigue he asks at last if one isn't finding him tiring. One's arm is almost in half with continual fanning. The sweat is pouring down one's neck in streams. Do not say that this is a small matter. I consider the practice a blot on our social life. I therefore caution all wise men that August visitors should not be admitted. On the death of his father, by Wei Wen-ti, son of Cao Cao, who founded the dynasty of Wei and died in AD 220. The poem has been wrongly attributed to Han Wen-ti, who died in 157 BC. I look up and see his curtains and bed. I look down and examine his table and mat. The things are there, just as before, but the man they belong to is not there. His spirit suddenly has taken flight and left me behind, far away. To whom shall I look? On whom rely? My tears flow in an endless stream. "You, you!" cry the wandering deer, as they carry fodder to their young in the wood. "Flap, flap!" fly the birds, as they carry their little ones back to the nest. I alone am desolate, dreading the days of our long parting. My grieving heart's settled pain no one else can understand. There is a saying among people, sorrow makes us grow old. Alas, alas for my white hairs, all too early they have come. Long wailing, long sighing, my thoughts are fixed on my sage parent. They say the good live long. Then why was he not spared? The Campaign Against Wu, 2 poems, by Wei Wen-ti, AD 188 to 227. First poem. My charioteer hastens to yoke my carriage, for I must go on a journey far away. Where are you going on your journey far away? To the land of Wu, where my enemies are. But I must ride many thousand miles beyond the eastern road that leads to Wu. Between the rivers bitter winds blow. Swiftly flow the waters of Hui and Su. I want to take a skiff and cross these rivers. But alas for me, where shall I find a boat? To sit idle is not my desire. Gladly enough would I go to my country's aid. Second poem. He abandons the campaign. In the northwest there is a floating cloud, stretched on high like a chariot's canvas awning. Alas that I was born in these times, to be blown along like a cloud puffed by the wind. It has blown me away far to the southeast, on and on till I came to Wu Hui. Wu Hui is not my country. Why should I go on staying and staying here? I will give it up and never speak of it again. This being abroad and always living in dread. The Ruins of Luoyang by Cao Qi, AD 192-233. Third son of Cao Cao. He was a great favorite with his father till he made a mistake in a campaign. In this poem, he returns to look at the ruins of Luoyang, where he used to live. It had been sacked by Tung Chou. I climbed to the ridge of Peimang Mountain and looked down on the city of Luoyang. In Luoyang, how still it is! Palaces and houses all burnt to ashes, walls and fences all broken and gaping, thorns and brambles shooting up to the sky. I do not see the old men, I only see the new young men. I turn aside, for the straight road is lost. The fields are overgrown and will never be plowed again. I have been away such a long time that I do not know which street is which. How sad and ugly the empty moors are, 1,000 miles without the smoke of a chimney. I think of the house I lived in all those years. I am heart-tied and cannot speak. The above poem vaguely recalls a famous Anglo-Saxon fragment which I will make intelligible by semi-translation. Wondrous was the wall-stone wearily broken, bursteads bursten, giants' work tumbleth, roofs are wrenched, towers totter, bereft of ruin gates. Smoke is on the plaster, scarred the shower burrs, shorn and shattered by eld under-eaten, earth's grip haveth wielders and workmen. Footnote 19. Here, weirdly, is referred to, or meaning as, by fate, harking back to the original meaning of weird, W-Y-R-D. Footnote 20. Wielders are rulers. The Cockfight by Cao Qi. Our wondering eyes are sated with the dancer's skill. Our ears are weary with the sound of kung and shang. Our host is silent and sits doing nothing. All the guests go on to places of amusement. On long benches the sportsmen sit ranged, round a cleared room watching the fighting cocks. The gallant birds are all in battle trim. They raise their tails and flap defiantly. Their beating wings stir the calm air. Their angry eyes gleam with a red light. Where their beaks have struck, the fine feathers are scattered. With their strong talons they wound again and again. Their long cries enter the blue clouds. Their flapping wings tirelessly beat and throb. Pray God the lamp oil lasts a little longer. Then I shall not leave without winning the match. Footnote 21. Kung and shang are the notes of the scale, as in musical scale. A Vision by Cao Qi. In the 9 provinces there is not room enough. I want to soar high among the clouds, and far beyond the 8 limits of the compass cast my gaze across the unmeasured void. I will wear as my gown the red mists of sunrise, and as my skirt the white fringes of the clouds. My canopy the dim luster of space, my chariot 6 dragons mounting heavenward, and before the light of time has shifted apace, suddenly stand upon the world's blue rim. The doors of heaven swing open, the double gates shine with a red light. I roam and linger in the palace of Wen Chang. I climb up to the hall of Tai Wei. The Lord God lies at his western lattice, and the lesser spirits are together in the eastern gallery. They wash me in a bath of rainbow spray, and gird me with a belt of jasper and rubies. I wander at my ease gathering divine herbs. I bend down and touch the scented flowers. Wang Zhu gives me drugs of long life, and Sang Min hands me strange potions. By the partaking of food I evade the rites of death. My span is extended to the enjoyment of life everlasting. Footnote 22. The line, "I roam and linger in the palace of Wen Chang," refers to the stars. So, too, does the line, "I climb up to the hall of Tai Wei." Footnote 23. Wang Zhu and Sing Men are immortals. The Curtain of the Wedding Bed by Liu Sun's wife, 3rd century A.D. After she had been married to him for a long while, General Liu Sun sent his wife back to her home because he had fallen in love with a girl of the Suma family. Flap, flap, you curtain in front of our bed. I hung you there to screen us from the light of day. I brought you with me when I left my father's house. Now I am taking you back with me again. I will fold you up and lay you flat in your box. Curtain, shall I ever take you out again? Regret by Yuan Qi, AD 210 to 263. When I was young I learnt fencing, and was better at it than Crooked Castle. My spirit was high as the rolling clouds, and my fame resounded beyond the world. I took my sword to the desert sands. I drank my horse at the 9 moors. My flags and banners flapped in the wind, and nothing was heard but the song of my drums. War and its travels have made me sad, and a fierce anger burns within me. It's thinking of how I've wasted my time that makes this fury tear my heart. Footnote 24. Crooked Castle was a famous general. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ame Reads. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, subscribe, and possibly consider becoming a patron at my Patreon. Your patronage supports my writings, my readings, and other works that I do. Also, do consider checking out the source of this particular story. Again, the link is down in the description below.